Welcome. I'll be reacting to Penny Dreadful, Season 2, Episode 6. This is a commentary. It is not a market substitute. Please support the original, and no spoilers in the comments. Oh, they're going to discover the body. Yeah. That poor maid. I love her hairstyle, though. She had one line, which was a scream, and she nailed it. Stop being so cute. Good morning. Need some hair? What's up next? I thought so.
Do you mind if I bring some clothes here?
Not at all.
Yes, please.
And some shopping, perhaps? What do you favour, Burlington Arcade or Bond Street?
That's awfully public.
I don't think she's ready yet.
Perhaps discretion.
Anathema. I'm going to throw a ball.
Dorian.
You deserve a proper coming out.
First, you must acknowledge the splendidness of the day.
Oh, no.
Perhaps you should sit down. She took her own life.
Gladys did. That doesn't seem like her. I shall have to have the carpet replaced then.
Wow.
Good morning.
He's probably under a love spell still. Oh, is he getting a puppet too? Everyone's getting one. I have to admit, her artistry here is kind of impressive.
We have a man who does that, but I'll give them that final touch of life.
It's very impressive, all told.
Oh, yes.
She feels people and probably knows more about how to sculpt a face than someone who can see.
It's so cold.
Sorry, miss, it's how I am.
Why does your hand not feel alive? But why am I frightened?
This is fascinating. I don't think she would be on board with this seller idea. She seems really nice and compassionate. I loved Vanessa's look right there, because she's like, you get into any trouble with this guy, you call me, I will end him. That's a true BFF right there.
Before I became the fine Pinkerton man you see before you, I was a Texas Ranger.
Oh.
We shot them down, took their scalps, which fulfilled the warrant, you see. Your daddy wants you back in the Altogether, so back you go.
I see you outside of this house. And I'll kill you.
Your girlfriend there is on the second floor, at the back.
Another enemy to deal with. Look, he has the little rose right there.
A man I met recently. Same name as the poet, John Clare.
Uh-oh.
He breaks my heart, Mr. Clare. Kindred spirit, I think.
I like your flower. I come bearing an adventure.
I love her skirt. I think it's the fabric. The way it's
Oh,
cut.
Vanessa. I'm not going down to the funeral. So much going on here.
Oh my goodness. Not even showing?
Women used to put poison into their eyes. A little drop of belladonna to dilate the pupil.
Yep.
What won't we do for beauty?
She is such an amazing actress. You really feel for her character, even though she's just pure evil.
You're afraid I'll embarrass you.
Oh, no, no, no.
No. You could never do that. Dorian Gray, what are you making?
Shepherd's pie?
Love shepherd's pie. And it's a really easy dish to make, too. So it's like great for her to learn how to cook with that. The real question, though, is how did she learn that from a cookery book of the time period? Because I've read them and they're so unhelpful. Okay, I found a cookbook from the era I happen to own. Here is a recipe for chocolate pie by Mrs. W.A. Vincent. 1 large cup milk, 2 tablespoons grated chocolate, 2 tablespoons flour, 2 to 3 cups sugar, 2 egg yolks well beaten, small lump of butter. Cook until it thickens and flavor with vanilla. Pour into a baked crust. Beat whites of eggs, add 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then brown it in a cool oven. That's not enough to go by unless you already know how to make all these other things. So I want to know the backstory on how Lily found out all these pieces of cookery, because they are not in the books. Well, at least it's popular. This is the equivalent of murder podcasts back in the day, I guess.
Inspector.
Mr.
Oh
Chandler.
my. Awkward.
Is it realistic? Wolves?
Ooh.
I suppose.
Why are you here?
I saw the sign. Had your proof?
I'll find it. Because no man involved in crimes like this can live with them forever.
Oh my. I love this inspector. Because, I mean, technically he's kind of in the right. And he has such good instincts. He's like, I know it was you, and I'm going to find the evidence. Her skirts this episode are just gorgeous. No, pan down. We want to see the skirt fabric.
Mr. Chandler?
There we go. Look at that drape.
Friday.
Yeah, I'm busy Friday.
No, I can't.
Technically, it's Dorian's ball, so she could show up unaccompanied, and he'd be like, yes, drama. That purple dress! I need it in my closet. This was one of my favorite eras for ball gowns because the bustles are not too big. Oh, love, love, love. The color is perfect. That is so pretty. Look at the little peplum bustle thing. And I love how like innocent she's playing it. Just her eyes, like, never seen anything like that. He took a photograph of her, and they have a photograph of them together. Is it up somewhere in his house where she would see it and realize? And maybe it would spark a memory?
But I have the funniest feeling I've been in this room before.
Uh-oh.
I would think that unlikely. This is my cousin, Miss
Uh-oh.
Lily Frankenstein.
Will you do me the honor of this dance?
This is so awkward.
Cool to the touch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. They suit you. Like the touch of marble.
Dorian, can you just, for 5 seconds, not flirt with everything that moves? This is one of my favorite pieces of music.
Miss Ives is without an escort. Very daring she is.
What do you want?
Be still, little man.
Oh, where?
Lake District.
The realm of poets.
And livestock. Dance with me, Dorian.
In a moment.
Angelique is being ignored. I want to think you don't know what you're doing, but I think he does.
I wanted her to have a life. Now she does.
Just not with me.
A friend, I like to think, who cares a great deal for his welfare.
Sounds like a warning.
He's figured out the moon cycles then?
I need you to chain me here. My dear Miss Ives, will you let me escort you home? This place isn't safe for you.
No.
Let me say goodnight to
He's
the
trying to do the
I'll be
right
right
thing.
back.
I think he's trying to switch sides. He's just scared. I'm worried he won't make it out of this episode. His usefulness is dwindling to the witches. All right, Carrie. Oh my goodness.
Can you hear me?
Miss Ives.
It was an interesting choice to start this episode maybe a few hours after the end of the last one. I really like how this season feels kind of like Not that we're watching in precise real time, but it's definitely showing us a lot of every single day and every single evening. There's not a bunch of time jumps. It's kind of like we're following along with them, as if we, the audience, went to sleep last night, woke up the next day, and now we're right back with all the characters. It's also interesting to see how Evelyn basically has Sir Malcolm under her thrall and can make him do whatever she wants, like shave his beard and much more nefarious things. And we can see the puppet starting to have a psychological influence, I'm guessing, over Vanessa, unless that was instead one of her true visions where she's kind of seeing what Chandler's going through in his mind, because he transformed around when she had that vision with all the blood. So that's another theory I have, is those two events are connected. The inspector also putting it into his head of, I'm not too worried about catching this murderer because eventually living with the guilt of this will catch up to him and he'll basically hunt himself. And then we see Chandler at the end kind of realizing it probably was him, and then making sure he got confirmation. So next episode, he's going to know for sure it was him, and the guilt is going to start eating away. Most importantly, though, this ball was amazing. There could have been more dramatic fallout from it if Dorian hadn't chosen to kind of keep his cards close. I'm mostly worried about Angelique because she was having such a wonderful time when he brought her out. And then he turned around almost immediately to obsess over Miss Frankenstein. We know why he did that, because it's like she was dying and then she shows up with no memories, looking fine, and he's probably like, there's a mystery here I need to figure out. But from Angelique's perspective, he abandoned her on her night. That's gotta hurt. So even though we saw at the end he went back, that moment of pain is one I don't think he can take back. Even though it wasn't deliberate, but he should have known better. Loved all the gowns, though. So beautiful.